When that gang leader pointed a gun at the old janitor and laughed in his face, he made the last mistake of his life. He thought he was dealing with a fragile old man. He had no idea that the guy sweeping the floor was the one man even the FBI was afraid to touch. My name is Leo. After my parents passed away in a car crash, all I had left was the family deli. I was 19, drowning in debt, and barely keeping the lights on. The only constant in my life was Mr. Rossi. He was the janitor for the building next door. Every single day at 5 p.m., he'd walk in wearing his paint-stained overalls, sit in the corner booth, and order a black coffee. His hands would shake a little when he held the cup. He never spoke much, just gave me a tired smile and asked, "You okay, kid?" I felt sorry for him. He looked so lonely. Sometimes I wouldn't even charge him for the coffee. I thought, this poor old guy has no one. I didn't know he had everyone in his pocket. It was a rainy Tuesday. The deli was empty, except for Mr. Rossi in his usual spot. Suddenly, 3 guys walked in. They were collectors for a local gang that had been shaking down business owners in the neighborhood. The leader, a massive guy named Jax, knocked over chairs as he walked straight to me. The smell of cheap cologne and danger filled the room. "Time's up, kid. Pay the protection fee, or we burn this place down with you inside," Jax shouted, shoving me against the counter. I froze. I didn't have the money. I started begging, tears forming in my eyes. It was total humiliation. That's when we heard the sound of a cup being placed on a saucer. Clack. Mr. Rossi stood up. He walked slowly toward us, holding his broom. "Leave the boy alone," he said. His voice sounded weak. Jax laughed, a cruel, loud laugh. He turned around and slapped Mr. Rossi across the face, knocking him to the floor. "Stay in your lane, old man, unless you want to end up in a body bag, too." Seeing Mr. Rossi on the floor, bleeding from his lip, broke me. I felt like I failed to protect the only person who cared. But then, the atmosphere shifted. Mr. Rossi didn't scream. He didn't cry. He simply stood up, wiped the blood from his mouth with a silk handkerchief he pulled from his dirty pocket, and looked at Jax. It wasn't the look of a tired janitor anymore. His eyes went cold, dead, like a shark's eyes. He straightened his posture. The shaking in his hands vanished instantly. He looked deep into Jax's soul and whispered 3 words that froze the room. "Mirella, Santo, Grace." Jax's face lost all color. He turned white as a sheet. Those were the names of his mother, his wife, and his daughter. Mr. Rossi rolled up the sleeve of his janitor uniform, revealing an old faded tattoo on his forearm, a double-headed lion. The symbol of the Vittore crime family, the syndicate that ran this city 20 years ago. Everyone thought Don Vittore had died in prison. Jax started trembling. The gun slipped from his hand. Don Vittore, is that you? Oh God, please, I didn't know." The giant thug was now on his knees, crying. The janitor walked to the counter, picked up the landline, and dialed a number without looking. "Come take out the trash," he said calmly. Within 5 minutes, 2 black SUVs pulled up. Jax and his crew were taken away, and they were never seen in Brooklyn again. Mr. Rossi turned to me. The killer aura vanished, and he went back to being the gentle old man. He put a hand on my shoulder. "Your father was the only man who gave me a warm meal when I decided to leave the life and find peace, Leo. I promised him that as long as I breathed, no one would touch his family. That day, I learned that real power doesn't need to shout. And sometimes the guardian angel watching over you used to be someone else's devil." If this story gave you chills, hit the like button and tell me in the comments, would you forgive a former criminal if he saved your life? Subscribe for more.